So here I'm in Schedule Builder, and you might go like, wow, that's not a lot of courses, but that's because it's the summer. So for this round, we're scheduling summer and fall. And so if you click here to fall, and then you have to hit search, then everything comes up for the fall schedule. And so it's an alphabetical and numerical order. So it starts with Bio 100. And then if I click on 3, now you see environmental science, geography, and geology. And what all these classes came from is from the previous fall's schedule. And what happens is the previous fall, we might have figured out a schedule, and then 1 or 2 courses might have been low enrolled and got canceled. And I believe that they don't always show up here. So if there is a course that now needs to be offered again because we canceled it and it should be on there and we're hoping for better enrollment, if you notice that it's not here, you have to email OIM, and for us, it's Alex. So email him, say, hey, I need a section of this course, give him the prefix and the course number, and then, he'll get back to you within a couple of days, and it will be in here. If you need to deactivate a course, you can do that. So this one has been deactivated, it's red. So that's all you need to do is click this box and save. So now if I go back to that third page, that course was red before because it was inactive, but now it's blue. That means it's active. And if it's blue, it means that it will show up in the online schedule that everyone can see. So if you don't want it active, if you're not going to offer it, you need to uncheck that active box and hit save. And so then now when I go back to that page, you see it's red. That means that it's not going to show up on the schedule. All right, so then next, I wanted to just kind of show you, for example, if we'll do this is anatomy. So it's rolling in the days and the times that it was offered in the fall. You might need to change the instructor or you're going to have to enter the instructor. Even if it's the same instructor that taught it last fall, they didn't populate that information, so you're going to have to enter that. But I wanted to show you, let's say this now is going to be a hybrid. Notice that this class means that it's lecture. And so if that's hybrid, you need to uncheck those and change the time to 12:00 and 12:00. Now there's no days, there's no time, and obviously you can't put a room in because it's hybrid. Then after that, you click save. Now that means that the lecture will show up as being online, but obviously I'm gonna close this. I'm not going to save it. So it still has everything. So here, this is the lecture. If I go to page 2, here's the lab for that. And you see it says lab here. Obviously, for a hybrid class, you still want to have days and times and so forth. But in this case, we're not converting this to hybrid. So I'm not going to change any of that, but I'm going to, I guess you can't hit back. You have to hit close. All right, so I happen to know on top of my head that Sung-Ji is teaching Tuesday, Thursday morning anatomy. Anatomy is Bio 120. So since we have several sections of Bio 120 and you don't necessarily need to deal with all of this, if you want, you can just type in biology -120, and then you have to hit search. Now you only get the biology 120 sections here. And so Tuesday, Thursday morning, I know it's going to be Sung-Ji, and then Monday, Wednesday morning, it's going to be Aaron. I already entered that here. So let's add Sung-Ji here. So first, this is the lecture and that's the lab. So I'm going to click on this. It's lecture and it's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, and it's going to be morning. Nothing changes. And for room, if a faculty has a preference for a room, then you can go look for that. So I'm going to go to my document where I pasted everything in. Let's see, we have Sungji right here. She wants anatomy, and she is zero cost textbooks. And she didn't specify a room, so I am just going to put her lecture then into the anatomy lab. So some faculty don't want to be in there, they want to be in a lecture room. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to put the room. And so you can scroll through all of this all the way down to SMN, but it's faster if you just start typing SMN. And now you're already at that spot on this list. And so you just scroll down, and so the anatomy lab is 207. Then for staff, once again, you can scroll through all of these people. I believe some of these people haven't worked for us for decades, others are dead. So it's kind of inefficient. The fastest thing is just to go in here and start typing the last name. And so it's going to be Schmidt. And there she is. And then I just click on that. So for the lecture, it's going to be 3 units. And then I always click primary. I don't really know what it means, but I always do that. And then it shows up in here. If you need to change anything, let's say you messed up the teaching unit, you have to delete all of it. If you just add here, it'll add another. So I'll show you. Let's say I add, like, this is actually 5 units, and then I add. I guess it doesn't even like it. Yeah, it doesn't like it. So in that case, I'm just going to go back. You can delete it. Now it's not there. So I'm going to go back and, it's 3 units. And then it's still primary and I added. And then here it will show if there are room conflicts. And it might also pop up conflict up in here. Anyway, so I just added her name, and so it will have a conflict here, or a checkbox if there's a conflict of any kind. So here's the room, here's the time, that's the lecture. Now I'm going to do the lab, and so the lab is also going to be an SMN. And so now I'm going to scroll down to 207. That's the anatomy lab. It's still Tuesday, Thursday. This is the time the lab is. She was zero cost textbook, so I'm going to put that there, or zero textbook cost. That this box here will not be published for everyone to see. This footnote is what the public will see in the schedule that's posted online. So the footnotes here could have if there are field trips, or if there's a first meeting and then nothing else is, everything else is online. Any information that you need to have students know ahead of time as they sign up, you can put here. This is just for OIM to be able to put in information for the search filters when students search, because maybe students can't afford textbook and they are trying to just maximize the number of classes they take where the textbook doesn't cost anything. So then you can put it there. So I, for example, all my classes are the library textbook program, where they can go to the library, check out a textbook for the whole semester and borrow it, and then they return it. So that would be an LTP. But in this case, she said she's zero textbook cost, so we'll put that in there. We have here, so I'm going to type Schmidt. Whoops. Right there, Sungji. And the teaching units for the lab is 4.98. So this data is data I typed in at some point, but once you typed it in once, it shows up here and you can just kind of pick it. I put primary, I hit add. And the good thing is I forgot to enter this zero textbook program or textbook cost before, but it will now be populated in the lecture too. So whatever you put up here, the computer system will recognize that it's the same CRN, and it will put the same information in for both. All right, so everything looks good here. I'm going to hit save. And so now both of those are here. And just to confirm that that footnote is on the lecture part, I'm going to click on that. You see it showed up right here. All right. So that's how you do the scheduling. So it's a lot of clicking, but that's all you do. And I just keep my document where all the emails are and this open at the same time, and I start clicking away. Oh, I guess I should say that once you're done with scheduling and you're going to send it to Carol, I do this on the work computer in Chrome. Then I hit preview and I get this. When I'm home, I only get this happening and nothing else. Like I actually don't get the preview. So that's why I have to drive into work to do it. And it takes a little while. So since I'm sitting at home, I'm not getting it to work. But eventually we'll have, yeah, so you can see it doesn't work at home. Could be some settings. But in any case, what I get is a thing that shows any changes I made and with a cross out or line out and the whole schedule. And so then I just print it as PDF and email it to Carol.